We went riding with Stonewall afterward.
Mhm.
Do you
Has there
remember?
been other?
Go
Oh,
ahead.
sorry.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to ask if there's been any sort of previous instances where you've noticed a, let's say, error in judgment from Stonewall, like regarding something like this.
Hmm. I only vaguely remember one thing where I talked with him about a report I was writing, and I asked him about the charges. Um, and I wasn't quite sure how to handle it. And his answer confused me because he said he wouldn't charge that with anything. I mean, it was a part of an incident where somebody um had a white head and voiced that he was deputy, and he tried to negotiate a store robbery without being a deputy.
Do you know who
Um,
that person was?
uh, it was somebody from Just Creek. I
Oh, okay.
think it was mixed, but I wrote the report so I could look that up, and it was in Sandy, a store robbery. Um, yeah, and I just asked him how he would charge that, and I think he answered that yeah, he wouldn't bring that. I mean, he said he wouldn't charge it, that I could mention it in the report, but he wouldn't charge it. And that was a bit strange to me, so I asked other deputies too, and yeah, there I got different answers, and then I kind of with the middle of these answers.
Okay, Tris.
You said that there were other deputies that took your place when you and John went to go rest in Rhodes. Do you remember who those deputies were?
Oof. Hmm. No, can't say that with certainty. That's too long ago.
And it wasn't the ones that were there originally, right? It wasn't Robinson. It wasn't It wasn't Recruit Thompson, and it wasn't Ajdi Shah or Kiwanakwe, right? They didn't return. My hand hurts, chat. I've been typing all
Well,
this out.
well, I don't know if they maybe were there before when we were searching. That the others were in Ensburg. I can say that. I know that we were searching for some time, and we were a group of 4, if I'm not mistaken. And yeah, when we got to Ensburg and were in the sheriff's office, then other deputies there too. I can't remember if there maybe was communication from us before that John and I would head off, and that's why others came, or if I can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Did y'all encounter the fish at all that night? Because they had taken Tucker, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. Did y'all see them at all that night?
No, we found I think on that day we found what was it we found? Was it boots? Maybe glass. We found a few things at one place where we were searching. It was not a real camp, but there was a tent that was either destroyed or broken down by, I don't know, maybe a storm. Trying to remember what actually we found, but we found some traces, and I know that somebody, I don't know if it was Stonewall or somebody else, that somebody stated that these things belong to Tucker, or that this is evidence that shows that she was there.
That. Do either of you two have anything else to ask her?
I don't think so.
I think you grabbed about everything that I had.
All right, Miss Viola, I think you're good to go. I know I
Mhm.
know you've been working for quite a while, so I will let you go and let you go to sleep. I appreciate you coming over here after doing the paperwork.
Thank you.
Yeah, sure. Have a nice day.
You as well.
You as
You
well.
too.
Somewhere, get safe and get some rest.
Yeah, I will.
Oh, did you see the spat she was wearing?
It's a word spaz. Oh,
They weren't?
no, I think those were just boots.
Oh, they were bloody awful boots then, Jesus.
Checking telegrams. Shinobi's dying. Okay, I shorthanded out a lot of those questions I asked, so I'm gonna go back through and spill everything.
Yeah,
over.
I got some stuff down.
Okay. I just typed all that up, chat. My hand hurts. Fixed all this. Those locals outside keep scaring me.
Just gonna sift through some of the paperwork and see if I can find any other instances of Stonewall's any sort of inclination of favoritism to the fish.
That's what I've been doing right now.
Yeah.
Right now, I'm looking into. I started with the more likable fish, so maple and pink.
Likable is a strong word.
Well, relatively, with the rest of the fish.
Likable as in I'd like to shoot them?
Sure. If you had to line them up with how many bullets you would use, from most to the fewest amount of bullets.
Correct me if I'm wrong. Was there another investigation against Stonewall regarding Inya?
We have one, yes.
And wasn't that injury sustained by the fish?
Yes.
Right.
Oh. Wait, are you talking about the one where he drugged Inya?
Yeah.
Yeah, we have that as yeah.
And that was injury she sustained by the fish, right? Definitely. I mean, I'll defer that to you if you want to bring that up. Yeah, if we question him, but
I mean, I do think it's a very good point. I want to see if he admits to whatever to this first, and then if he doesn't, then we can move on to other reports on the IAs or the IRs we have.
well, I don't know how his mind's gonna take it. Personally, if I was in his shoes, I wouldn't admit to anything without knowing what I'm admitting to or the consequences of doing so. But maybe that's just the way I think about it.
Wait, say that again.
Like it's all well, Llewyn, or trying to get an admission of guilt out of him, but unless he understands fully what he's admitting to and the consequences of the admission, I mean, I personally wouldn't admit anything without knowing why or what's going to happen next.
Well, I mean, how would you do it?
Just the usual, like, I mean, I sort of use the philosophy as if well, the consequences are going to be less severe than if you don't admit. That's for certain.
Mm-hmm.
You could maybe extend an olive branch, say there's a possibility to keep your job if you tell us exactly when and why, or why and how, but then obviously don't follow through on that, because I don't want him working in the department if it's true. Yeah.
Yeah, there's no way. I mean, the whole reason I delved so deep into this is because I'd realized that it had gotten buried in our whatever else we have on the desk in the offices, and Robinson approached me about it yesterday morning and was very concerned, which is why I
Rightly
looked
so.
into this. Rightly so. He said, I don't feel safe patrolling, and
Yeah.
he pointed Stonewall out himself. I didn't
Mhm.
ask if he thinks it was Stonewall. He said, I don't feel safe with Stonewall because of how he acts and what he does.
Let's just think about what he would probably want most out of it. Maybe his reputation not tarnished. Maybe he would want to be convicted, that's for certain. Not charged. So we can maybe say to him,
I think I have another I want to bring up.
yeah, okay. Maybe we could say, if you play ball with us and don't fuck us around, maybe you won't get charged and then you won't be publicly, you'd be internally reprimanded, but you won't be publicly reprimanded for your actions, sort of thing.
never mind. This one's a wait. So I have another IA that command was going to handle. The basic gist of it is upon obtaining a statement from Indian Norskov on 11/19/1901 involving a different incident, Norskov states that she reached out to Senior Deputy Stonewall, Takeda, and Deputy O'Hara regarding the fallen stalking and threatening Norskov. She states that these deputies did not follow up or look into the matter. Norskov had to go to Assistant Warden Olivia Howard, who got in contact with Lieutenant Grimm to rat out the incident. She feels as if Stonewall, Takeda, and O'Hara ignored Noskov's incident where she was a victim to the fallen.
Oh, it was the fallen that he ended up. Is that the same incident where he ended up dragging in you?
No, but makes you think about the fallen on the fish a little bit more. Do we have any proof
Yeah.
they've been working together?
Yes.
Yes. Yeah, Honey and whatever it faces.
I'm gonna make copies of all these IAs so I can keep them all in one fucking spot. Oh, Lord. My little lesbian. Oh, God. Oh, there's so much here. Oh my god. This is gonna take longer than I thought. Okay, so what should we start with? Because I want to make sure we at least have something when he gets here. How do you want to... Do you want to go about playing nice, Fletcher?
How's your dead turkey on your
Howdy.
porch?
Not sure. Someone tried to bring us dinner, I guess.
Okay then.
I asked this internally in my head a lot, Reed, but what the fuck are you wearing?
It's fucking cold outside, Fletcher.
Yeah, but do you have to wear that?
Yep. In this place.
What?
A hall tree. Place to hang up your coat.
I just put it on the table by the front door.
Oh, these
You might as well just throw that outside. No need to hang that up.
yeah, right up there with the dead turkey.
Yeah, keep it warm.
Yeah, actually, just throw it over the turkey.
Beck, he's gonna fucking kill you. Then we're not
It'll
gonna
keep
get
my
anywhere
feet
on this
warm,
cake.
Fletcher. Fletcher,
Well, yeah.
you know what'll keep my feet warm?
Put it up your ass.
I'll shove them
Shoving
up
it
your
up
ass.
your ass. There it is.
Yeah, I got it.
Is it possible for me to move this folder with all this information over? No, because then you won't be able to see it. For fuck's sakes. Because,
Can I just peek
Reed
over your
doesn't have a
shoulder?
copy of this folder.
Can I just look over your shoulder and like see what's in there? Was your handwriting terrible? Your
not
shitty
terrible,
handwriting?
but the read doesn't. I guess you guys can just look at the copy y'all have. But another command can see this folder of information we have because
Okay.
confidential, you know. So
Say what?
trying to figure out how easy it's going to be for me to just rewrite a copy of this folder for you to look at.
How come you got super secret files we can't see?
No, it's just confidential because I wrote it up myself and submitted it to the marshal's office, so I don't have an extra copy for all command.
Oh, okay.
So,
This is a pain in the ass.
so Stonewall was recently kidnapped by the fish.
The fish and members of the remnants.
The
I
remnants,
believe.
yeah. Nevi and Jimmy. We're just trying to go over what he reckons happened.
They're trying to get Maple's body. If my understanding is correct. Maple, you know who that is, right?
Yeah.
Alright.
And her relation to Stonewall.
Not so much that, no.
She's the adopted daughter of his daughter, Anna.
She was killed by the fish.
She was killed by some of the fish, yes. She was a fish.
That's just your classic New Alexandria family tree bullshit.
Y'all are going after Stonewall for being connected to the fish, and you don't even know how he's connected to the fish.
I'm going after Stonewall because he sent a telegram to the fish, not because I know he's connected.
Well,
Trying to
now you
figure
know
out
why he sent it. I guess I don't know if you would call her his granddaughter, is a fish, or was, until the other fish killed her.
Oh Lord! Oh, that was
That changes things.
information we did not
Who was
have.
that?
Maple, what the hell was her last name?
Brown?
Brown, yeah. Theodore Brown.
Oh
Anna
my
Brown,
God.
also known as Anna Stonewall.
Hmm.
So, for all intents and purposes, we'll call her his granddaughter, so we know who we're talking about. Mabel.
Sure.
Hi, Pops. So his granddaughter was a fish. Who was she killed by?
We believe God, I can never keep them straight. Cobalt and Honey.
I don't know, Kate.
I believe because of something Inya did.
I'm talking loud, so.
Pissed off Cobalt, or
Was Maple alive still when this telegram was sent?
I believe so, yes.
Okay.
So chances are he was probably trying to send it to her, and
But if he was
messed up.
sending to her, why would he just said your good friend? And why was it anonymous?
that's a good question. But I mean, if he was trying to send it to someone specific, so that does suggest that he would have been trying to release that as a general telegram, which still doesn't seem smart.
Well, according to what Miss Fjellhoff said, picked back up, flipped it over a couple times. According to what Miss Fjellhoff said, so I asked, when you were in the office with John and Stonewall, was there anything said between you all once it was realized the telegram was sent? She said, well, remember that I think Stonewall and John were standing directly at the telegram I'm just gonna repeat word for word what she said because that's how I wrote it down. Well, I remember that I think Stonewall and John were standing directly at the telegram thing. I checked telegrams first and there was nothing. And I don't know, I decided to write a report. I think it was John who read out the telegram. And then he paused and he said, "Strange, that was sent from here, but there was nobody here besides us." So at first he was wondering, and then Stonewall directly said something like, "Yeah, that was a technical error." And then I went over to check telegrams again, and I saw it, and I didn't quite understand what he meant. And I can't say who it was, but other deputies came to help with that. So John and I planned to head back to Rhodes. So instead, the other deputies were staying in Annisburg with Stonewall. Other deputies arrived and saw the telegram and mentioned something, and Stonewall said something like, "Yeah, that doesn't exist," or "That's nothing." Yeah, it was strange, but that's how I recall it.
Mm-hmm.
Maple passed away in October, I believe.
No. Was it really that long ago?
Yeah.
I think so. And I'm trying to look through it now.
Okay. I'm trying to imagine what he might say in defense, and he could make it sound like he's trying to warn the people that the fish keep an eye out for them, right? But then again,
12.
why would you sign that off as your good friend
Why would it be
when signing it off as why would it be anonymous, and why wouldn't you just sign off as your deputy? Stutton was a well-known deputy. Yeah, so that's bollocks if he tries to push that.
Well, I mean, it definitely suggests that he knew that what he was doing was wrong, and that if anyone had a copy of anything that he had signed with his name and it got into the wrong hands, he'd be in a shitload of trouble. So the fact that he tried to hide his identity just goes further to prove guilt.
Yeah. Okay, well, my idea is we ask him some questions surrounding the context of the day in the office around Tucker to try and to plant that sort of environment in his head, and then we begin the questions from there. So we ask him, how many times did you participate in a search for Tucker? How did it feel when Tucker was recovered? How much time did you reckon you spent searching for her? And then we go with
if that helps at all.
Do you recall an anonymous telegram being sent from the office when you were searching for her? And then we go from there.
And we're sure this couldn't have been the fuel holes?
Not if in their statement, he said it's nothing, right? It was a technical error or some.
Yeah, he said multiple things to try and defend that telegram.
Mm-hmm.
According to fuel holes. Let me play devil's advocate for a minute. We got a husband and wife team that are pointing the finger at somebody else.
True. But then that would only lead us to.
But then the other deputies came by and asked the same thing, and he said it again. That doesn't exist. That's nothing.
Okay. Who did he say that to?
She couldn't remember who showed up to help him.
So again, we're taking her word that he said that to other deputies. I'm playing defense attorney for a minute.
Mm-hmm.
So you have two corroborating witnesses who are husband and wife that are pointing this finger.
Well, I mean, we won't know for certain until we talk to him.
Yeah. Also, Maple. Yeah, Maple has been passed since mid-October, it would seem.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like it's been that long.
Let me know how I sound, chat.
I mean, obviously, we have his connection to them or to her. When was this sent?
This whole incident was November 8th.
So after she was dead.
So that tie would have been gone.
Unless, of course, he was still friendly with Navy and the others who were trying to
hurt the person who did it, which is Honey.
I don't know, because
that's a possibility.
But
if he's trying to assist the fish in getting honey for what her and Cobalt did to Mabel.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But there was conflict though between, was it Navy and them? Because Navy had Maple's head, and Anna and Theo had her body.
Mm.
And Navy wants the body, they want the head, kind of thing.
Have
It's
y'all?
like a
Wait.
jigsaw
Okay,
puzzle, isn't it?
so please look at Incident 4353. Was Stonewall's granddaughter, was her name Mabel or Maple?
Maple,
Okay,
like
so
the syrup.
in Miss Tucker's statement
Which,
from the
I'm
incident
sorry,
that
which
happened,
number?
4353. In Miss Tucker's statement from the incident that happened on the 6th when she was, supposedly on the 6th when she was kidnapped, it states that Mossfish forced me to eat a barely cooked heart. Navy then also kicked me a few times as well during conversation. At one point, Gray and Honeyfish showed up as well, where they accidentally called Tealfish Maple. Honey then threatened me with a hammer to not let that information spill. Is Maple dead?
What
Are we
the
sure
fuck?
she's dead?
Wait, hold on. What's chronologically first here? Is the death of Maple first? Or is
Maple
the...
dies early October.
Hey,
So
what's
we're gonna
happening
have
here?
to corroborate with Miss Tucker on when this happened.
Oh.
Because she stated it was the 6th, but the IA is from the 8th, and Robinson told me that he submitted it the day it happened.
I mean, this could just be them talking conversation and referring. They were talking about Maple and referred to her as Teal's fish,
You know-
and then
Yeah.
that's probably what happened.
Okay.
And then
Well, also
that riles
she
Honey up.
was taken a couple days prior. She wasn't taken on the 8th. They were looking for her, so I guess she put the date she
Okay.
was taken.
Right.
Nope. So the next part of Miss Tucker's statement says, another day, Moss and Navy brought a railroad spike they used to force my head up by yanking my hair and nailing the spike through my hair and into a tree. They left me like that for a day. When they returned the next day, Cobalt and Teal were there as well. Moss, Navy, and Cobalt had a few private talks until Navy turned extremely hostile, untied me, and brought me to the edge of roads. They told me to run while they fired at me. 2 of their bullets hit me in the shoulder. I cannot say who.
Right. So she's definitely involved.
Teal was physically there. And Tealfish is Maple.
Okay. Bros, you're certain she died in October?
They hear the next part.
Someone did.
They seem to suddenly be in a strong hurry, which Navy implied several times when bringing me to Rhodes, to having to deal with me now. At one point, when Navy, Teal, and Moss visited me, they seemed to be in mourning of some kind, bringing up Pink suddenly. Teal had also said a relative of hers has been killed recently, and during a conversation of revenge, asked if I thought she could take Honey.
What the fuck?
So multiple times in the statement, it mentions Teal, aka Maple, as a living being. This is getting Betty.
Where's the part where they call Teal Maple?
In Octavia Tucker's statement, and under the involvement section of the report.
Right, but which paragraph?
Paragraph 4. Got a second. This is where I
There is
miss
no death
Trello.
report for Maple.
I'm looking at 4427. Maltreatment and murder of Maple Brown.
Are you sure that someone didn't write the date on that? Oh yeah, you're right. October. What the fuck?
It wasn't confirmed to be her for much later. But a body was found.
Body was found decapitated. The head was found in Saint Denis in the graveyard.
Which Honey would later claim as the one who did it, and the reasoning being that it seemed like everyone was playing favoritism and picking Maple over her. So Honey killed her over jealousy, I suppose.
I mean, Maple had a brother, but no
This is getting
sisters that I'm aware of.
spicy.
She might have referred to the
I-
other fish as that.
This is brand new. This is new information. I never even looked at this statement before. I'm a terrible command member. Oh my god.
Are we certain this was October and not a fuck up with the deputy who wrote it? Because that's the only mention of October, I think. Everything else is November.
Hang on a second. I had some correspondence with Beaumont about that time when she found the head.
Because this file, I mean, it's dated as been, filed in November. But whoever the first deputy that wrote down wrote October.
Multiple times in this file, though, it does say October.
Yeah, it was badly
There's
investigated.
a large timeline here.
See, I think it's a mislabel. Because on November the 12th is when her head was found in Saint Denis, and that was the same day that she was killed, I believe.
Okay.
If you look further down under the incident report, there's an update from Quartermain on the 13th of November, a day after this was filed, or technically a month and a day. So this was filed on the 12th of October. On the 13th of November, Quartermain added telegrams and letter copies for the incident. Why would he wait an entire month?
No, he didn't.
Yeah,
Yeah.
There's something wrong
And
there.
then on the 14th of November, Rube also added a statement regarding this.
What's the number on the
4427.
This is why... Is this why Stonewall went to Siskel and a Tessie?
when?
Remember the IA we had? Stonewall was IA because he went to Siska and upset Honeyfish, and then had the DOB had to deal with her attitude.
No, look down here. This paperwork, it's signed by Charlotte Denholm, the 12th of November. This is labeled wrong. It should be 11/12, not 10/12.
Okay.
You know, I'm just going to say this was last updated by Stonewall on the 26th of November, and there's times, if you look through the incident report, where October was written out. That's a hard mistake to make when you write out October. Yeah, you may accidentally write a 0 instead of a 1, but when you write out October 12th, 1901, how do you miss that?
Or somebody wrote 11/10, meaning November 10th, and someone mistook that for October 11th and followed suit.
We can debunk this right now. I'm sure y'all said this before, but if you look at the copies of the telegrams that have been attached to the report, they're all from November. They're from November 12th. So
Denholm signed it down there at the bottom. It signed her name and the date of 11/12.
oh my god, this is
It's
exciting.
definitely November the 12th.
What I would like to know is what Stonewall updated. It's supposedly Navy is confirmed to have the head of Maple Brown, referred to attached letter.
That is my understanding as well, per Beaumont's interaction with him.
This is a cool collage.
That letter attached, however, isn't actually signed. That's not much evidence at all. Unless the PO box number of 19577 is definitely Navy's, then that's not signed already.
Well,
Hold on, I'll check his civilian profile.
I have a
Oh yeah, it is. It's him. Yeah, it's all good.
yeah, I have a copy of a letter that,
Oh, sketch.
or more of a statement that Beaumont was working on about the incident that they had that day with Navy. They'd gotten a telegram from Honey saying, "I'm bringing someone to the graveyard. Be there at 10. Don't disappoint me," or some shit like that. Well, shortly after checking telegrams, they were accosted in the telegram office by Navy fish. And Navy was accusing Beaumont of being involved and somehow in league
he
with
get here?
Honey and involved in the killing of Maple, et cetera, et cetera.
Mm-hmm.
And then Beaumont explains, well, Honey sent me a telegram to go to the graveyard. And
My
so
boy.
basically, Navy takes Beaumont under gun and says, okay, well, we're going to the graveyard. And they get there and they find Maple's head sitting in the middle of that, that circular part there in the center of the graveyard, whatever you want to call it. And they had a back and forth, and basically Navy said, well, if she was here and you were sent here by Honey, then maybe you weren't involved, and decided that Beaumont wasn't the enemy and grabs Maple's head and leaves. So the last known person at that point in time to be in possession of it was Navy fish.
Has there been an incident that Stallman's been involved in where Navy's tried to, for whatever reason, hold up deputies for the body? Anyone know? I'll have a look through this recent incident reports.
If that did happen, I wager that was right around the time we took a holiday.
Right, because if he's got a personal family connection to this, he's got to have a side on who he preferred the body with, right?
Well, I would imagine it would be with his daughter. Yeah. There was a situation in Ansburg where Denholm was coming to town to get clocked in and go to work, and finds Theodore Brown pointing a gun at Enya sitting on the ground, demanding that Enya give them the body, because originally Enya had it.
How is Enya involved? Why does she want the body?
She and Maple were friends.
I still
That's
think
morbid.
she should be a
And-
doctor, but all right.
Yeah.
She finds herself involved with a lot of fish stuff, and it rubs me the wrong way.
I believe that is the reason that Maple was killed, because Enya had done something that pissed off Navy. And so to get back at Enya, he killed her and basically told Enya where the body was. So Enya found the body, Sand's head. And from all stories I've heard, basically kept it with her for an extended period of time before she finally turned it over to Anna and Theo.
Wait, you think Enya did it or Navy did it?
Enya didn't kill her. She just found the body and held on to it.
Supposedly, Honey killed her.
Yeah, as it stands, as far as Honey's claim that as being the one to do it, and the reason she gave was basically jealousy. That everyone was choosing Maple over Honey. But doesn't mean it's true, but
I swear I saw something somewhere that Cobalt was claiming that they had done it to get back at Enya.
I mean, it could be the case. They are not necessarily known for being a bunch of truths, so.
Yeah. So when was this telegram anonymously sent?
5th of November, did you say?
8th of November.
8th of
When they
November.
were searching for Tucker.
So then
She's dead in what,
she'd
2 or
still
3
be
days?
alive. Yeah, she'd
Yeah,
still
yeah.
be alive at that time. So it is possible that he was trying to send it to her, but why the subterfuge? Why not just sign it, Grandpa?
Probably for this reason.
Yeah.
Well, like I said, if he deliberately did that so that if that telegram ever fell into our hands, we wouldn't know it, that just shows that he knew what he was doing was wrong.
So right now, our current working theory that it wasn't necessarily the fish he was meaning to help, but more targeted to help Maple stay out of danger, because their track record
that
is
makes sense.
usually being a shootout if deputies come try to get that hostage.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I
Is
want to
it-
say
yeah.
every single time it always ends in a shootout. So maybe
But-
he was trying to prevent a shootout because he knew or thought that Maple was certainly going to be with them doing this.
Yeah, but that suggests that he knew that she was involved with the people that were involved with taking Tucker. And he knew that she would likely be with them when deputies found them.
Which would lead to him trying to warn her so they could either prepare and or move somewhere better. Sounds like a decent working theory, but
It's a lot better than the one we had originally, which was the warning that, deputies were looking.
Mm-hmm.
This one definitely fits.
So what's the working theory right now? What do we got?
that he wasn't necessarily trying to warn the fish as a whole, but it was more targeted to helping Maple out. And
The ones that protected Maple?
so while this was happening, Stonewall knows that deputies are heading out to go look where they certainly think that they're keeping hostage at. So Stonewall fears that they will certainly find this hostage where fish will certainly be, and the fish usually get in a shootout over their hostages, so he feels that Maple may be hurt because Maple will likely be with them. So maybe he tries to warn them and or warn just Maple, but fucks that part up. I mean, regardless, it doesn't change the charges and
Yeah, I mean, the severity of it doesn't change. What he did could have cost deputies their lives.
right. I was just putting out the why, not
But
necessarily.
No, of course,
that's not a bad way to play it. As in, look, Stonewall, we understand.
So that's probably
We understand why you did what you did.
exactly. Yeah, that's
But
something we want to start with.
once he accepts that kind of like, you can tell us. We understand why you did it. You were just trying to protect Maple, right?
But a good guy.
And then when he admits to it, if he does, then
We shoot him.
well, I mean, I don't know about that, but
Jesus.
Well, I mean,
we-
apparently that's what the marshals do. So
We'll definitely have to
Like-
push this.
They're gonna hang me in the morning.
So my random thought, not really productive, but part of me wonders if Honeyfish killed Maple because of Stonewall. There are a couple incidents where Stonewall went over to Sissica to speak with her and pissed Honeyfish off and said he wanted.
Do we
wanted to
have that
kill him.
logged, by the way? Does DOP log that sort of?
I
They're
have-
already listening on conversations.
should,
We
yeah.
have one IA regarding that. They may have more. There were 2 incidents, and I can't find a second IA on it because I don't think it was IA the first time because it was just kind of, they thought a one-time thing. It doesn't really change anything, but part of me wonders if Honeyfish killed Maple partly because of that.
did this happen?
This incident happened in September. So it would have been before Maple was killed.
Yeah, well before. Okay.
I don't know.
Hold on a minute.
Told Stonewall to send me a telegram when he's headed this way, so we'll see if he actually shows tonight.
I mean, didn't his letter say, what, 10?
Yep. Yeah, it's time. I think we're going to be here for a bit looking into this anyway.
I mean, I'm not seeing a whole lot of. Excuse the pun. I'm not seeing a whole lot of fishy involvements between Stonewall and the fish, other than the ones we've kind of gone over. Everything else seems pretty
No, because I think
lack
this
of
is a slip
evidence.
up.
Or, yeah.
It's all buried personally, and I think he backs it when he can, rather than obvious acts of favoritism or, vice versa.
I think up to this point he was very.
This is just a fuck up. Yeah.
Yeah. I've gone pretty far back in a handful of the fish, and either there's just like very poor paperwork, but typically poor paperwork, or things were done pretty cut and dry. So as far as fucking up and making it look worse on him, he hasn't done that. He's managed to keep it pretty
Wink.
clean.
So do we do the old look, Stonewall? We're going to give you one chance to tell us what we already know.
How hard do we want to play it?
Well, someone could do that, but I'm not very good at
I think Fletcher wants to go.
being the good guy.
Oh, you want to be the bad? I thought you were going to be the good guy.
No, I'm not very good at that.
I mean, if you want to be the bad guy, then be the bad guy.
Well, I mean, that opening can come from his underchefs, and I'm sure that'll.
I mean, I could definitely.
I mean, he'll certainly see us as more of a colleague level, not necessarily y'all. So he might.
I think if I laid it out like, look, you're here because we know. And I've tried to convince everybody here that you're a good man. And I wanted you to have a chance to explain. So you're going to get one chance to tell us the truth and tell us what we already know and come clean about what happened. And then see what he says.
All right.
I mean, I don't think there's any other way, honestly. It's not like we need a confession now. I don't think we really do. I mean, a confession would help, definitely. I think we should get it before he leaves if we can. But I think we have a lot on him right now.
Okay. Well, here I'm just floating this next question.
Float it.
There's going to be two. There's going to be a follow-up. One, let's say
I'm
he
already planning on that, redacted.
admits to it.
Already planning on it.
Are y'all willing to arrest him here for corruption?
Well, what is the corruption exactly? If it is it's supposed to be a personal telegram to Maple of a warning, what's the crime there?
But if it was supposed to be a personal telegram, then why did he sign it the way he did? And that's where you get to come in and play bad guy and be like, you know what, Stonewall, I'd like to believe that. But let me ask you this. Why the fuck didn't you sign your name on it? If this was just, Grandpa looking out for his granddaughter and making sure she was safe, why all the...
What was I was going to do, and I totally forgot.
Why all the...
I lost it.
Sending it anonymously and signing as your friend, and then you can kind of go after him and see if he cracks.
Well, it also insinuates that if he's signing off on that sort of pseudonym, that he's been leaking information. as that pseudonym.
Yeah, and it did state your good friend, not just,
Someone's
not
coming
just,
up now on a horse. We missing anybody here that isn't Stonewall?
Nobody that Lasky had talked about being here. I think Reed had expressed wanting to be here. Nothing else for certain aside from Hannah. Like Hannah said that had mentioned she wanted to come.
You know, just in case he does walk in, is that how we want to play this?
Well,
Sure.
Yep. Outside of the arrest spot, that's y'all's jurisdiction, obviously.
Yeah, I'm just gonna ask a few questions, and the rest is your show.
Check who's outside. You sure we heard somebody riding up on their horse?
Yeah, I saw them. Rode up on, is that a Breton?
Anybody around? That's Reed's horse.
I mean, someone did ride up. Maybe they went by. They go check the horses here.
Hey, who's... Somebody running out back. Howdy.
Hey, how are you, Tris?
Oh, dead. Jesus Christ. I was about to
Oh, my.
shoot somebody. Oh, Lordy.
All right.
What are you doing? Are you just coming to rest or?
Now I'm changing real quick.
Okay.
Who is that?
It's just the governor.
Did he
No.
shave?
Yeah.
Well, the election was a close shave, so I'm assuming he took a picture.
And do we need to bring up the fact that doesn't he have to win by 51%?
I guess
Isn't
it's a
that
sore
kind of
subject.
in the Constitution?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm not gonna bring that up.
I mean,
Someone bring up his close shave. I didn't mention the election.
Do it.
no, I mean, I'm asking a serious question.
I have no clue. I really don't care.
Isn't the result of the election constitutionally not valid?
But it was majority vote.
51% is majority.
I don't know if you said anything about it, so I don't know.
So Sasha wins? Hell yeah,
No, Sash doesn't win, but
he does.
I don't know.
I'm holding the state.
I don't
hostage
think so,
until he
Di.
does.
I don't fucking know. Okay, anyway.
Howdy, I'm here at Stonewall.
At least he sounds chipper.
Is he on back?
We ready? No,
He's
he's
out
in the
front.
front.
Bro's gonna be
meet-
doming.
Let's go meet in one of the side rooms so we're not standing awkwardly in this fucking hallway.
You just had to wear the same boots and pretty much the same outfit as me,
It's
didn't you?
unlocked.
I have this thing.
Uh,
You can go put it on if you want.
We're just gonna go talk in that
You
room.
want
Just
some
wanna go
shit?
in there.
Sure.
Yeah.
Lasky, where do we go?
Pardon?
We need to discuss if we're going to arrest him here if we get a confession, a solid confession, and a guilty plea.
I mean, can we take his plea for corruption? I thought it was needed an arraignment.
Most likely, yes. I'm just saying, do we? If you please, well, I guess if you please, we have to, because then there's no telling where he's gonna go if we don't.
Mm-hmm.
If what now?
Well, I mean,
To get a plea tonight. Is that what we're going for? Is a plea tonight? Because if we get a plea, we're gonna have to arrest him.
Well, I don't know how that works. Do we press charges against deputies or?
Yeah, we're command. Of course we do.
Yeah, your command, dude. He's under your umbrella.
I always thought that was left to the marshal's office to actually press the charges, or the attorney general's. But
Well, we can.
thankfully, this isn't something we have to do very often, I guess.
Yeah, yeah.
No.
I mean, if you fire him, he's just a citizen, which means anyone can prosecute him or arrest him.
No, you'd have to fire him first.
Mhm.
But does he need to be tried as a suspended deputy, or does he need to be tried as a fired citizen?
It depends on what you want to do. If you want to fire him first, if he's got no chance of having the job, you might as well fire him.
Yeah.
There's no point beating around the bush.
So that would take command vote. The right
yeah,
answer
so-
would take
Right.
command vote.
Okay.
In other words, we talk to him and then we go to command and say what the charges would be if they want to press them, or exactly what happens from there.
I don't know. The choice is yours, but I would just grill him like we're going to do, and then show him the door, and then go from there.
Yeah, if he's being charged with corruption, we can't actually charge him. Because I'm looking at
Yeah,
SOP itself, and corruption is an arraignment charge, so he'd be sent off to Siska indefinitely.
I wouldn't even mention the word charges to him personally.
Yeah, but the question is this really corruption?
What else would it be?
A man who tried to warn a member of his family and failed.
Excuse?
We'll have to wait and find out, depending on what he says.
Yeah, it depends on
How
his
that-
circumstances. If it's not the first time he's been sending warnings or information or anything like that, then
Right?
it's problematic.
Hello?
Yeah, see if we can get him to admit to a pattern. If that's the case, then absolutely.
Yeah. I suppose we see. I mean, there's nothing saying we can't deliberate after we're done. There's nothing saying we can't talk. We can't have him wait for us to deliberate
Yeah, exactly.
till we're done. Does this beer get bigger? No, it didn't. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we can always put him in Siska for 48 hours before we have to file a criminal complaint. So
I'd rather not have to send him there unless we absolutely need to.
If we don't
Yep.
send him, then I don't know if we're gonna see him.
That is true.
I don't know. But
Which is why it's a good idea not to mention charges.
Yep, we won't mention charges until we deliberate after we get what we get from him. Question is, how are we gonna keep track of this conversation?
I'm a pretty good note taker.
Okay, if you'd like, and then if you need help picking up anywhere I can, just let me know.
Yeah, I mean, traditionally I always like two people taking notes, so that way no one misses anything.
Yeah.
So, if Rose, do you want to take notes as well as me?
Sure.
Poor Jessica.
And then
I feel so bad.
I don't mind pitching in with a couple of the hard-hitting questions. I've got something written down already.
Okay, well, who wants to open? I guess.
But anyone can jump in. I
Wants
think
to open and who wants to
questions
start?
from all angles probably is going to get in.
Yeah.
Sweating a little bit, so.
If I think of any, I'll wait to see what y'all have to ask. But if I think of any, I'll
Yeah.
ask.
you want me to try to open the door for him to just spill it all out?
Yeah, I think he'll likely have a bit of a better response with your opening, because, like I said, I think he might consider me, Fletcher, and to an extent, Lasky, still more or less colleagues versus a higher up,
Mhm.
just simply because how long he's worked alongside us around the same
Also,
rank
just need to
until
be
Lasky
careful, we're
moved
gonna have
on.
a lot of traffic through here, so not that this needs to be confidential, but yeah, just keep that in mind. Never mind. No, let's just ask. I think he'll respond to that bestery. We all know how he acts under pressure. Sometimes he don't make the best decisions, and I don't think pressuring him into anything. I think that's just going to shut him down.
Mhm.
Yeah, we'll definitely read the room.
If we
before
don't
you
get what
question.
we want, then we'll push further. Okay.
Yep.
All right.
Who wants to make the first move?
All right.
Alright. Why can't?
I want to just start by saying that it gives none of us any pleasure to be standing in this room right now, Stonewall. has not been a hasty or light path that has brought us to this moment in time. You know how we work. You know how I work.
Mm-hmm.
And you and I would not be talking right now if I wasn't pretty sure I already knew the answers to the questions, right?
Well, I don't even know what the hell I'm here for today, to be completely honest. Oh,
We'll get to that.
sorry.
I have known you for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And because of that, I have asked that you be given a chance to tell your side of what happened, to, in essence, come clean with the whole situation,
I'm clean. Okay.
to explain exactly what happened and why. And I urge and implore you to be 100% truthful.
You know I don't lie.
I know, and that's why I want you to have a chance to tell us exactly what happened and why.
All right. I appreciate the chance. I'm gonna need some context.
RPTs.
Do you want
Hi,
to
Nick.
explain to him, Tris, what it is that we're here to talk about?
Yeah. So like Reed said, we've been doing a lot of deliberating. Stonewall, we are not here off of a whim. Regarding an I we received on November 8th, 1901, I will begin with it is Command's fault 100% that this has waited so long to be looked at. I opened up the file a couple days ago, and I've been working on it nonstop since. We have a lot of people involved that have given opinions, that have given statements, and that have looked at it. So we have a lot of opinions on it, not just one voice kind of explaining all of this. November 8th, 1901, you, Henriette Fieldhole, and Jonathan Fieldhole were in Annisburg. Recruit Thompson and Senior Deputy Robinson had just left one way to go look for Octavia Tucker, who was missing. Deputy Ajdi Shah and Deputy Cubanakwe had left to go out west to go look out there. Timestamps show that 1627, Robinson and his recruit left. 1628. Cubanakwe and Ajdi left the office. At 1630, there was an anonymous telegram sent from the Annisburg Sheriff's Office stating find it so I can get the exact words. Stating, and I quote, "Fish, keep an eye out for them. Signed, your good friend." That was sent at 1630, and then at 1633, you and the rest of the patrol that showed up, honestly, the holes left to go continue looking. That's why we're here.
Right? A telegram? But what happened after the telegram? Anything?
Not directly after, no. It's not that we saw right away. So, upon speaking with the deputies that were present and looking at and getting the opinions of all the deputies on duty that saw the telegram themselves, we were told that after that telegram was sent, John Fieldhole and Henriette Fieldhole both took turns looking at the telegram because they were quite confused. John said, and I'm going to sum up what I have written down, or what I wrote down, that that's strange. That was sent from the sheriff's office, and it's only us here. Does that sound familiar?
It does sound familiar.
Okay. And then after that, You said something along the lines of, yeah, that was a technical error. And then Henriette went over to go check the telegrams because she was curious about what was being spoken of. And it also caught her attention. She doesn't remember what she said, if anything. But she does remember that the deputies that showed up to go on patrol afterwards with you that left mentioned it, and you said something along the lines of, yeah, that doesn't exist, and that's nothing. That sound familiar?
Yeah, it does.
Okay. Or you want to
So-
ask some questions?
I'm not sure what I'm being accused of so far. But sending that telegram? That it? Or did something happen after that telegram?
Did you or did you not send that telegram?
Yes, it wasn't supposed to be public. Supposed to be sent to
Okay.
someone else.
And who was that telegram meant to be sent to?
Damn. Gotta respect, straight up admitted it.
Lucas Joyce. That's who it was supposed to be sent to.
If the telegram was supposed to be sent to Lucas Joyce, why does it have fish in the name, in the line?
He asked me who to look out for. I even have the telegram still, actually. He asked, who do I have to look out for? Who do I have to be careful about? I said, fish, they're around. Be careful. I'm going to send it to him anonymously. I was just going to sign it, your good friend.
Do you have any proof of that?
That's it. I do. And I can show you.
You have the telegram you sent to him.
Yes, I do.
Okay. We'll get
The
to
one that
later.
he sent me. I'm going to go find it.
Damn, shit just got turned around.
I wasn't expecting that.
No, but
It doesn't change much.
So he's been colluding with the firing line.
uh,
As the pseudonym, your good friend.
interesting.
Huh.
I guess I'm not terribly surprised by that.
We still have the other thing on the fish we can discuss, but that is definitely something I was not expecting.
The other thing to discuss with?
Well, we have other ideas we need to discuss regarding his behavior in the fish and maltreatment that we're waiting. But we'll see what he has to say.
Here, I got the telegram. Who wants it? Chris or Reed?
Yeah, hand it to Trish. She's been collecting things. So I guess now I have a different question, Stonewall.
Our line of questions
Cool.
just got completely messed up.
Why the hell are you sending telegrams to a man who put a double-barrel shotgun to the back of my fucking head and calling him your good friend and giving him information to keep him safe?
Am I not allowed to keep someone safe from violent murderers and torturers? It's not like I'm giving information to hinder anybody.
Someone
Just
who
telling
put a
him-
double-barrel shotgun to the
I
back of my
understand, Reed.
fucking head.
I
Stonewall.
understand, Reed. Has nothing to do with you. He can still be my friend, even though he did that. I don't agree with what he did in the singlest bit.
You
Don't agree
still
with anything he
understand,
did that
though,
day.
how
I
using
understand.
your position as a deputy and feeding information to him is a serious problem?
Yeah.
I just told him fish were around. I didn't tell him where or what or who. But this is the only time that I actually gave Lucas anything like that. It was just a friendly telegram. That's all it was. Nothing else. I meant to send it to him, but I messed up and sent it to public.
Why did you send it anonymously?
That I'm not really sure of.
Yes, you are.
I can't
Well, hello,
tell what
Lassie.
he's gonna do with that.
Yeah,
So
because
you're
you knew
sending
if he ever showed
information
that to
to
us,
a man you don't trust. That's what that sounds like. You're sending
you
information
knew that if it
about
ever got
deputies
out
and about
that
deputy
Edward
needs.
Stonewall was sending information to him, that your ass would be in a fucking sling. And that's why you sent it anonymously.
My intent wasn't for him to do anything with it. It was literally just to tell him, oh, there's fish around. Be careful.
You don't know what he was going to do with it after you sent it. Yeah, it doesn't
Guess I
matter what
didn't
your
know
intent is.
what he
It
was gonna
doesn't
do.
matter what your intent was. You sent that to
think it
him, and he
does.
could have used that in any way he wanted to.
He went out and found the fish and killed them all. That makes you accomplice to murder, as far as I'm concerned.
I wasn't telling him to do that, though. I didn't even tell him who was even around. I mean, it could be common knowledge that the fish are even around.
Then why'd you
He
need to
literally
tell him?
said the fish.
You felt the need to tell him that for some reason.
Because he asked me who was around that he would need to look for.
Why would he ask you?
I'm not sure.
Y'all,
We've had friendly interactions in the past.
no matter, but I'm such a
So
hypocrite
somewhat
right
of a friend of
now.
mine.
Being such
many
a
times have you-
hypocrite.
Been in contact with him?
A few times personally, for personal things. This is the only time I even sent him a telegram saying who's around.
Die.
And that's the God honest truth.
Exactly. I don't think I've ever sent telegrams to the
I'm
fire
not being
one,
accused of today.
honestly.
It's not a matter of what you're being accused of. It's a matter of what you've done.
What did I do then? Send the telegram, and that's it?
You
Was
used
it
your
anything with it?
position and the knowledge that you had because of your position to send information to someone who was part of a violent vigilante group who's been riding around this state murdering people for
Yes.
months.
I
You
didn't
don't see a
use my
problem with
position.
that?
I didn't use my
You had
position.
nothing, Trees. You
I
had
didn't give him
nothing.
any
How'd you
I
know
will
it was
promise
hidden
you that
around?
right now. Everything you think
Pretty
you
sure that
had,
day
it
they
was
sent to a
nothing.
Public or something, or someone got attacked.
Then why
or
did you need to
something.
tell him? Can't
He
he look at
wouldn't
the
need
public
to-
and see?
Yeah.
Because he asked me, and I didn't see the issue in just telling him who's around.
But he asked you personally, and not any other deputy or any other person. He asked you.
That I don't know why. I'm not him, so I wouldn't know.
So if you don't know why, then why'd you respond? If you don't know his intent behind him asking you, why did you even respond? If he sent you a telegram directly, he sent one to Edward Stonewall, and he gets an anonymous response with an answer shortly after. What do you think? You think it's going to come from? Who else do you think he's asking?
Hmm. And with that philosophy, there's no point signing off as your good friend unless that's your long-term pseudonym for information giving, because he's going to know it's from
I've
you anyway. There's no point signing
Worked
it.
with him as a deputy for years. Am I not allowed to have a friend outside the department? Am I not allowed to send a telegram warning him that dangerous people are around? I'm not using my position to give him any information or have him do anything.
Well, Lucas Joyce is more than just an individual. He's like Reed said, a member of a very violent vigilante gang.
You know
I
that he
know.
shot Percival. Percival's the reason he lost his eye.
Yes, and I fucking don't understand why he did that. I don't
Okay,
forgive
then
him
why
for
would you
that.
help him?
I was just telling him what dangerous people were around. I wasn't
Why would you help
helping
him?
him.
That is helping. That is giving an inch of kindness and compassion to somebody who has not shown any to us in return.
Well, I'm sorry that I did.
You understand how this
Well, it looks-
essentially calls into question a whole
Harry?
lot of things. So,
I'm just
oftentimes,
playing
like
bad guy, a
Strawberry.
good guy. I don't even know what I'm playing
how
right
you
now.
say it
I'm
was,
definitely
it
I'm playing
was Lucas who
hypocrite,
turned the blind
and it's
eye.
great.
It
to-
was.
I was
to
not
what was
expecting
happening.
this
Reed
tonight.
was
And
like,
you
"I'm gonna
can't
do-"
you can't believe that he would do such a thing. And if you ever came up to him and across the lines and you had to, you'd shoot him down.
Respectfully, Reed, am I gonna run into a group of four armed by myself and get myself shot? That's stupid, isn't that? I tried to ask Lucas, come on, let's go. He's like, no, don't worry about it. I'm tugging and pulling at him, and I tried to get statements that day. While I was dealing with two detained individuals for crimes, what am I supposed to do? I didn't turn a blind eye that day, Reed. Respectfully, I don't appreciate you thinking I did that day.
I'd like not to think.
That's not what happened. I didn't turn a blind eye. Lucas did, and I'm tugging with him to try and fucking help me, but he won't.
So why are you doing anything to try to help him out now? He nearly got you fired over that situation.
Yeah. Wasn't the smartest idea then. haven't talked to him since, really.
You
Did
realize
Reese-
that's hard to believe, right?
I know it's hard to believe, and recently it seems he's dropped that firing line shit because everyone's kind of done with it and left. So,
Have you been in contact with anyone else in that gang?
not really, no.
Since return?
Antonio Delgado was my friend, though.
Not really. Is not a no.
Highs and hellos. And, hey, how are you doing? That's all.
I need popcorn right now.
No letters, no telegrams.
No. I've littered Antonio Delgado once to stop this shit. He's already done his job. We don't need him anymore. I don't want him dying or getting hurt over all this.
Well, that's
As a
irrelevant
friend.
considering he's in the ground now.
Well, that is irrelevant now, yeah. But no, I wasn't colluding with firing line if that's what you're trying to get out of me or somehow prove that it's not what happened.
We're just trying to understand why you sent this telegram.
People make mistakes sometimes. I don't know. My intention wasn't him to go fucking shoot a fish or do any of that. It wasn't even close to my intention. It was just letting someone that I'm friendly with know that dangerous people are around. Be careful.
And you aren't.
And that's it.
There's nothing that you want to happen to the fish. There's nothing that you want other people to do to the fish for you.
I want justice to happen. I want the law to get them and fire and squad them for their maltreatments and their murders that they have. That's what I want. The law to handle it. As I told Navy Fish, I want the law to handle it. Because that's who should handle it.
You were described in the room after the telegram and sort of being ousted for it, that you were quite nervous after sending it. Why would that be the case?
This is pretty fucking embarrassing that I sent something public with anonymous on it from a sheriff's office. Pretty embarrassing.
Right, but if you're claiming to just, send this innocent information to a friend, then why would you be embarrassed?
Because I sent it anonymous, and I'm a deputy. It's kind of fucking weird. It's like doing something you didn't mean to do. And they're like, oh shit. It's kind of embarrassing.
Right.
What was the exact wording of the telegram?
That I sent.
Yeah.
I believe it was something along the lines of, be careful, fish are around. Your good friend. At the bottom.
It was
November
fish,
8th,
keep an eye out for him.
1630. Annisburg Sheriff's Office from anonymous fish. Keep an eye out for them. Dash your good friend.
It's hard to remember a month ago exactly what it says. There's no record of my own that I keep of my own telegrams.
Right.
I told you what you. I just told you
I
what it
was-
said.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean,
I was asking Triss. I wasn't implying
Oh.
that you should know.
I didn't know you were asking, Tris. My bad.
And that was in response to a telegram from Lucas Joyce.
Yes.
Which you gave a copy to Triss.
Yes.
And what does that telegram say, Triss?
It's to the bottom of the fucking pile. From Lucas Joyce, Strawberry Post Office, November 8th, 1629. Anyone we need to keep an eye out for. Multiple. Plural. Not just him. Multiple people. So on.
Sounds like a shopping list, if you ask me.
Hmm.
Stonewall, are you privy to what the firing line does? Yes?
Somewhat.
You're
Not
privy
really.
to what the firing line do? Not really?
I mean, they fucking kill people. They fucking go out and shoot people in mass.
What would you call that?
Criminals.
Vigilante group, maybe?
Yeah, a violent vigilante
So-
group.
If a vigilante group reaches out to you and asks who should we look out for, what do you think they're implying there?
Maybe either they want to avoid them or maybe go after them. I
So
don't know.
what actions have they taken in the past? They ride out
They-
in groups
Mhm.
of people to go hunt people down. They have never avoided anybody. They go take out whoever the fuck they want.
You full well knew that by telling them that the fish were around, that they were going to go out and look for her. You're not a stupid man, Stonewall.
I had an idea of it. Not
You
a
signed it anonymously because you didn't want to be associated with it, but you still wanted to help nonetheless.
reputation-wise, yeah.
And you
I
use the
didn't-
same wordage they used, so it seems like you were at the very least on the same page.
No.
Do
Were
have some
you
dis-
upset because the fish had taken Tucker?
A little bit.
I mean, it makes
I'd
sense.
admit. I mean, the fish are absolute garbage humans.
So you wouldn't have felt bad at all if Lucas and them did mask up and go out and find them fish and tie them to a tree and shoot them in the face, would you?
Depends which ones.
So there's some fish you'd like to see shot and some that you wouldn't.
I would prefer the law to, but I mean, it's hard.
Which
See.
fish did you not want to see hurt?
Maple, Navy.
How can you say
Sorry.
you prefer the law to when you're giving information to the firing line?
I said fish were around. That's all.
So
Yes, and we've established what that means to a group like that.
Stonewall did Maple, which I understand was your granddaughter of sorts, if you want
Mhm.
to call her that. Was she ever involved in any of the horrific acts the fish did?
Never.
Okay, was Navy ever involved in some of the horrific acts the fish did?
Way back when, but as far
Okay,
as I know,
so
he
way
isn't.
back when, he what? He burned deputies. He tortured
Yeah,
people.
which I don't like.
He hurt people. So you don't like that. Then why are you helping people that have done that? You're helping people that are the same as the man that killed Serena. That there is no ifs, ands, or buts about that. They have hurt
Lucas the same
deputies.
as
They
the
have
guy who
hurt
killed
people.
Serena?
Serena was
They never
burned, was she
tortured.
not? She was
What
burned
are you talking
alive.
about? The fish or the fire line? Who are you talking about?
I'm talking about when
The
Serena
fish?
Lovecraft was found by whoever the fuck killed her. Some piece of shit lowlife. She was burned alive. Right?
I still hate Navy fish. I don't think he deserves to die yet, but now he definitely does.
That doesn't change
After
what
what
you
I
just
found
said.
out.
Like she
Have
was
you-
burned. She was burned alive. You know how much she fucking suffered, and you know how many
Can we not-
people the
can we
fish
not
have
mention
burned
her?
alive.
Can we not
I'm
mention
trying
Serena,
to prove
please?
a point, Stonewall. None of this makes sense. Way back when, who gives a fuck? Way back when, what they did. They still did it.
I
Just
know.
because a few months have passed doesn't mean they're good people.
Have you
If
read
your
Tucker's
granddaughter
statement?
never partook in it, then fine. She's a good person. She just consorted with bad people. But
Never
Navy
said
was
Navy was a good
involved.
person. I never said he was a good person.
I'm talking about your I just said your granddaughter. You said she never did those things, right?
Yeah, no. she
Okay, so
never
then
did.
I'm not going to talk shit about her while she's dead. If she was a good person, then I'm not going to include her in the statement. But you said your daughter, your granddaughter, and Navy. Navy still did that shit.
I misspoke on Navy. I don't like him, but I don't think he deserves to be gunned down
Have you
by
read
vigilantes.
Tucker's statement?
Believe so, but I don't really remember it.
Do you
It
know who
a
was
while
there
ago.
when she was tortured? When she was maltreated?
Who?
Tealfish. Maple.
Wait, what?
Yeah.
Fuck?
Honeyfish misspoke and said
Like,
Maple
that's who
in front
Tealfish
of
is?
her. Yes. It was Maple.
Oh, fuck.
Honeyfish misspoke and
What?
said Maple, and then made Tucker swear she'd never tell anybody, otherwise she'd kill her.
How the fuck was she there? The fuck?
She was there multiple days, Stonewall. Not just one. She was there when it was happening.
Did she do anything?
I'd have to look back at the incident, but it's not my hand right now.
Maybe Fish was there too.
Jesus. Oh, I mean, yeah, that was the person who took Octavia, wasn't it? Navy.
It doesn't matter who took her, it matters who was there when she was when her hair was pinned to a
Yeah.
tree so she couldn't move.
Add
when
it.
she was fed a heart. When she was starved.
Jesus fucking Christ.
Hello.
Lasky, can you handle that?
Yeah, I got it.
No, die. It was
I'm gonna be
overlooked.
perfectly honest with
It
you.
was overlooked.
Samuel, because I, to a certain extent, feel that you're being honest with me.
I am. I really am.
Oh, okay.
The
Liz wanted me to let him know that
Just
she's,
keep it down outside, please.
I'm sorry.
That's all right.
original thought was that you were trying to warn the fish with that telegram.
This just got so much
no.
worse.
What? Fuck no.
So that bothers you, the idea of you warning the fish.
Yeah,
bothers
that
you,
really bothers me. I'm not gonna lie.
but warning the firing line doesn't.
It's definitely a stupid decision. I'll agree.
It's the same fucking thing, Stonewall.
The fish and the fireline are not the same thing.
They still hurt people.
Tell me the
They
difference.
do hurt people.
They've still murdered
They don't
people.
burn. They don't burn people.
That
in
doesn't
buildings,
fucking
torture
matter.
them, right on them.
That does not
It
matter.
does matter.
So just because I shoot somebody, just because I shoot and kill Ethan Colt because of my cold-blooded vengeance I want to enact, it doesn't make me the same as Honeyfish who cuts off Mabel's head and kills her.
It makes them similar, but not the same.
There is no black, there's no gray in this. There's black and white, Stonewall. A murder is a murder, no matter why you do it or who you do it to.
Yeah, maybe.
Chris is just angry because Stonewall did this shit.
Any further questions, or shall we deliberate for a little bit?
Let's deliberate. Unless anybody else has anything.
I don't know what
Yep. What's Reed asking?
Oh, he's just pretty much giving him a disappointed father talk.
I should have
was that
yelled. I
outside
should have increased my
Friend's name,
voice.
He's looking for the governor. Apparently,
okay.
Liz just wanted him to pass a message that she's not kidnapped or something, and she's medical.
She sent a messenger boy and she could just send a telegram?
I guess so.
Christ. All right.
I'm just going to take 30 seconds over here.
I made a big turn that I was not expecting.
I think it's worse.
Eddie.
Y'all seen Liz?
Yeah, she's
You're to be
doing
informed that she's fine, not kidnapped. She's doing medical somewhere.
Yeah, a messenger boy came by.
Yeah.
All right. Everything all right?
No.
Oh.
We are handling a very serious investigation. I'm not gonna lie to you because that's what it is, and we're doing it where you
Okay.
live. So I'm not gonna try and hide what we're doing.
No, it's all right. I figured it was pretty important, to be honest with you, if it was over here.
Depending on the results of after the conversation is over, it'll probably most likely it'll be put out, but we'll see.
Okay.
Where'd Fletcher go?
I think he needed to take a moment to himself.
Now I got something else I gotta handle. Oh my god. Oh my god. Where's it?
Well, was
Yeah.
not expecting that.
Nope.
It was a.
No.
Whole other kettle of fish. Pardon the pun.
Honestly, I'd have preferred he just sent a letter to the fucking fish. Because then I could at least justify it's his granddaughter. He's trying to protect her. He's trying to warn her so she don't get shot, get caught in the crossfire, or whatever the fuck ever.
But instead, he's telling a known vigilante group that he understands a known violent vigilante group. And they ask who to look out for, and he says, look out for this
Yeah,
group.
while on duty.
He knows full well what that meant. He knew full well what their wording meant and what his wording would mean to them.
And he sent it anonymously because he knew what would happen if that ever got out.
Yes, exactly. And I don't for 1 minute believe him that that's the first time he did that. He's been doing that
Lucas
for a while.
isn't just going to randomly be like,
Exactly,
"Hey,
yeah.
I think I'm gonna." It's been 2 months since I've talked to my buddy Stonewall. I'm just going to send him a telegram and see what he'll tell me.
And
Exactly.
I don't believe that for a fucking second.
Lucas was very careful when it came to things like that. So he wouldn't just ask somebody who he wouldn't think would just turn around and use it against him. So he knew he could go to Stonewall.
Right, he knew he could get a Stonewall out of everyone else because he's before.
Because there were a lot of deputies around that day, according to those reports. Plenty to choose from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But it's still just as bad. Tris is right, though. It's
just as bad, if not worse, in my opinion.
I think it's worse.
Yeah, I suppose so. Because that was done intentionally to lead towards some sort of killing.
Yeah, if he was sending it to Maple, he was doing it to try to protect people. Sending it to Joyce, he was doing it to try to hurt people. The intention is completely fucking different.
Yeah.
He admits he was frustrated. He admits he was angry. He wanted them to get hurt. He wanted Lucas to find them.
Yeah, because the fish have been doing this for months. They have been just taking people, getting away with it.
I mean, he backtracked on his reasoning for sending it anonymously as well. He initially stated that he sent it anonymously. Actually, no, he didn't. He said, I'm just rereading his statement. He said, yeah, I'm not sure why I sent it anonymously, insinuating it could have been a mistake. And then when we sort of pressed him more on that, he later said he sent it anonymously to save his reputation. Because he didn't want to obviously be associated, if Joyce ever outed him or anything like that.
Which again indicates that he knew what he was doing, but
yes,
at the very least, looked very bad.
I would say since this is all newfound information, we need to take this to command and see what High Command wants to do about it.
Okay, hold on.
We have to wait for a vote till we fire him. That's for
Yeah.
certain. But he's guilty of this.
Oh, hey, there y'all are. Hey, I want to talk about this.
Sorry. Yeah, sorry. Say again, Rose.
Oh, I found command.
Yeah, but we ain't high command, and we're not the entirety of command.
Might as
We're
well
just
be.
the best looking part.
Best looking.
Yeah, the redheads.
I got three of them right here. Shit, that's
Ginger
majority.
command. No, I wasn't including him.
It's fucked up.
What the fuck?
I mean, he could pretend to be Rusan, and we wouldn't know the difference.
I see how it is.
Can you laugh like him?
Oh, does he laugh?
What?
Like a donkey.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Jesus Christ, okay.
All right, well,
We want to do in terms of conviction.
Again, that's something. So that has to. Reed is right though. That has to go to command.
Well, the firing
Um,
has to go to command.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well,
And
that's
Whether or
the
not
thing.
we
If
Yeah.
charge
it's
him right here, right now.
it should still be a command decision, I think.
charges like this, I would
disagree.
not.
I
I would not be
disagree
rushing
on
into
that.
charges like this.
Sorry, say again, Fletcher.
I would err caution because it's a hefty. I mean, what charges would you? I mean, are you looking for corruption? Is that the one you're looking for?
I mean, what do we charge previous fireline members with? Helping them is a
Attempted
different-
murder.
I'm talking
That's the
about
thing. We don't know the
corruption.
extent of it. You know, like it could be that telegram or any other telegram you sent could have led to something we don't know yet.
I don't think that's
um,
anything we're going to
or-
find out.
He could be telling the truth, and this is the one time he fucked up.
Yeah, it's the one time he fucked up. Not the one time he sent a telegram to a fireline member.
Yeah, I don't believe that for a
And
second. I think he's
We
been
already
doing it for a
asked
while.
him if he's done anything before, and he said no. Or not really, whatever he said is roundabout answer.
I mean, I could go in there and tell him that y'all are talking about corruption charges, and I'm trying to save him, and I need to know exactly how many times he's done this. So if I try to make an argument for it not being corruption, see if I can get him to give me more.
Knowing him, he might just get defensive and deny the corruption stuff, but that still doesn't make it any less impactful.
I don't know.
Yeah, I think we need to establish this proper, full relationship with the firing line.
I feel like the
Even if
only
it's
way
just
that
a,
happens
even if it's
is,
just a message boy, essentially.
I mean, who is that realistically possible other than asking him?
Unfortunately, not.
So do we do that here? Do you think we can?
Yeah,
Be honest?
if you want to try to do that, Reed,
Do I?
what you just said, the little, you know,
Okay.
saving grace kind of technique, might be worth it. Do you want anyone in there with you, or would you rather be like a one-on-one?
Yeah, just let me talk to him.
All right.
Damn! I'm hungry, Chad. Yeah, happen. You have one sighting of a red-haired woman riding on the tracks with somebody. I'm
glad you came dressed as me to this meeting.
You
Really,
sure, sir,
really
about
nice.
that?
Okay, give me a second. I will be right back.
Are you gonna wear my yellow outfit as well? Take his spot now.
So I guess the question needs to be posed. If this is the only thing we get from him in this regard, is that enough for corruption?
I mean, that's for the court to decide, really.
Yeah. We
It's
probably
enough.
shouldn't decide it ourselves, and we should probably push it into an arraignment.
No, the corruption charge.
Any charge in general.
I mean, if we're pushing corruption, it's an arraignment regardless. It's out of our hands at that point.
Well, fuck it. Well, then it just goes to me and Fletcher anyways, because all the court things seem to.
Also, nice outfit, Fletcher. See, you got my style.
I swear to fucking God. Actually, it's the corruption charge here. Using your position to dress as me. Motherfucker.
It's fine. I got a different shirt.
Well, what's the verdict? I mean, I think I know the answer already, but just to clarify, I'm assuming he's not working for the sheriff's office anymore after this, right?
No, that we would breach too much deputy trust if we allowed him to keep working. And all the deputies that come to me regarding this, concerned about working with him, about their safety, it's impossible. That we would lose every semblance of trust that a deputy has in command. Boy. Because when I submitted this to the marshal's office, I wasn't expecting it to be this simple, I guess. But as soon as I ended up finding just more and more and more on it, then we ended up obviously kind of figuring it out.
Mm-hmm.
The only reason I mean, like I said, this is Command's fault. It should have been looked at closer. The only reason that I looked into it further is because Senior Deputy Robinson came to me with concerns.
If you kick me one more time.
But they're my boots anyway. Do what I want.
Goofballs.
What?
Your
I
lips
need
from the
food,
side just
chat.
look very sore. Are they sore?
Yeah,
They
I
look
mean,
sore.
they're not the best when it's cold.
Put like a cream on them, isn't it?
Do you have any?
I mean, I don't care if he gets charged with corruption, but
Sure,
he's
I
definitely
can,
getting fired.
Mustard some
Stop,
up?
stop. No.
So much love to
No, I'm sure
McNasty
you
OC, but in character, he's getting fired.
Not enough.
I'm fine. Oh, it's so cold.
They know, Di. They know. So I mean, face to face with them, I don't know how they're gonna react, but they
I'm
know
gonna
it's
just
happening.
be useful and read the definition again, real quick.
Okay. Yeah. Say the definition of corruption.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Using
It vaguely
one's
would fall under it, but I
position-
think it's too vague. I think it's way too vague.
Well,
It's-
the definition is way too vague in itself.
Yeah.
That's certainly why it should go to command or high command at this point, just to.
Well, Command's gonna vote on it, but he will be charged.
I mean, you know,
or at least fired. There's no way.
if we all, or whoever writes the case itself down, the statement, everything like that, and we hand it to the AG, she'll be the final say on it, whether it's good or not. I mean, she'll be the one keeping it most likely.
Liz knows a little bit about this because I spoke to her about it when she brought me that issue with the fish before this patrol last shift. So she knows a little bit about it, and she said that she's ready to take it if we need to.
So he swears this is the only time he ever did it. He says he intended to sign his name. He accidentally sent it anonymously, he realizes that he shouldn't have done it in hindsight.
So it's the third time he's told a different story about sending it anonymously.
What do you say the other 2 times?
First time he said it was he's not sure why he did it, like a mistake. Second time he said he did it to save his reputation, so he doesn't get associated with Joyce. And now he's saying whatever he just said to Reed.
He didn't mean to
Yeah, that
send
he
it
didn't
anonymous.
intend to send it anonymously. He meant to sign his name.
No, he definitely said that he didn't want to be connected with Joyce. He didn't want Joyce to know who it was. So he's lying. He's one of those is the truth, and he's not telling us which.
Yeah.
I think he's stewing on it long enough. He's actually figuring out the real truth. So every time we go back and ask him, I think when we asked him any questions earlier, I think he came up with that on a whim. But now we're asking him again. He's coming up with the real reason. So I don't know. And he fucked himself. So obviously every decision we're gonna make regarding this will be brought to high command, and I'm just gonna say this right now, I'm sure that we're all gonna recognize keeping somebody that's done this with so many deputies who saw it and questioned it.
I'll never be able to trust him again.
Exactly.
I can't.
We cannot. It's gonna breach deputy trust to command. There's no way that we can continue to let him work alongside deputies, whether we demote him all the way to recruit or whatever. And I'm sure the rest of the command's going to agree. It's just unfortunate. Yeah. I'm sure we all recognize that, though.
Like I said, I could probably reconcile it in my brain and understand if it was trying to send it to Maple to keep her safe. But this just, I can't. I'll never trust him again. I'll question every word that comes out of his mouth.
I'm not going to lie, even though what we asked him completely turned around what we assumed to begin with, the reason I didn't ask him or kind of hint at this or try to begin any questioning when I was alone with him in the Rhodes office is because I thought he'd sent this to protect the fish, and I thought that if I asked him these questions, he'd realize he'd be found out and I'd be killed. That's why I didn't ask him on my own in Rhodes. So I already can't trust him.
Yeah, but you don't trust him because of your, I'll put myself in it, interpretation of the situation. Yeah.
But even so, I don't even think it changes, even though our entire assumptions change, or the whole reason behind it's changed.
Yeah, like I say, I think for me it's worse now than it was before. But I guess we tell him he's still suspended until we take this new information back to command and command makes a decision. And then get with Ashbrook and give her the information. And if she wants to try him, then I don't know. I think you're going to be hard pressed to prove a corruption case. All we know about and can prove is the one instance of it. And we have speculation that there's a possibility that it may have happened other times. Look.
Speak of her and she shall arrive. Want to bring her in to this, Lisa?
Sure.
Come here, Liz.
Okay, where you can shatter her too. That one's...
I don't think she heard me.
I'll go get her.
Tie her up if you have to.
She's used to it.
Boo.
Liz, we need to speak with you regarding what I told you about earlier, if you have a moment.
Yeah, I also need to speak to Barlow too.
I
think it's probably on the same. I think it's on the same situation actually.
Oh, all right.
I think, I believe this will be quick, Mr. Barlow, if you don't mind.
Yeah, we can.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're gonna
be right there. Your hair also looks weird.
Anybody? Just by saying that, then if he sticks to that, there's really no way for us to prove otherwise.
Oh, Jesus Christ. All over one.
The hell did you
Good.
do?
Fall off my horse too many times.
Okay. Maybe you should get a smaller horse.
So,
I'm right in Missouri right now.
So you're aware of the situation with Mr. Stonewall?
Unfortunately, yes, because I have been handling another situation, which I'm sure most of you. I didn't include you, Rose and Fletcher. I include Hannah. I didn't know who was going to be around for Marshall's, and that's my apologies on that. It was a quick letter of urgency to send out because of a whole situation that was brought to my attention on possibly a charge pushed prematurely on someone, and they got sent to Siska for it.
Mhm.
so what
Okay,
I
but
mentioned
this-
to you before the last shift, a little
Mhm.
bit of the meaning behind why it was sent was changed. The telegram I mentioned to you.
Mhm.
So I guess anybody here want to give the lowdown, or shall I?
Basically, we confronted him and gave him a chance to explain, why it was sent and who it was sent to. And when we asked him who it was sent to, he told us that it was sent or intended to be sent to Lucas Joyce. Lucas had sent him a telegram and said, "Is there anyone around that we need to be watching for?" And so he replied back, "The fish, they're around."
Read her the exact wording of it.
It was fish. God damn
Fish,
it.
they're around.
Fish. Let me
Keep
find
an eye out for him.
Let me
Yeah, keep an eye out.
Let me get it. I have it.
Something like that.
Fish. Keep an eye out for them. Sign a dash, like a little whatever. Tick. Your good friend. Sent anonymously from the Annesburg Sheriff's Office.
And Joyce, the reason why he sends that, it's a response to what Joyce sends, which is who should we look out for? Now, what the hell do you think he's asking that for?
Fire
And-
line don't die.
And certainly Stonewall knows what the firing line does, which we asked, and he is very privy to what the firing line does.
Yeah, he tried to say, "Well, I don't know." Well, I mean, we
Stonewall
all know
answered
that he's very
telegram,
privy to it.
And use the
within
same
a minute.
wordage.
Yeah.
So I don't. That's very peculiar. That's very specific wording. I don't know. That feels like more than a warning to me. But
Yep.
then again, that's just an opinion.
It's.
which-
I mean, you could spin it. It's like an order. Like keep an eye out for him. It's a fish, right? Like keep an eye out for him. Go look for him. Go hunt for him.
And
He
as
admits-
as we discussed, the firing line never avoided anybody. If they wanted to go take care of somebody, they took care of somebody. So this is definitely not a "hey, be careful, they're looking for you." It's a keep an eye out for the fish for obvious reasons.
And he admits that he was frustrated and would not have minded if some of the fish had run into the firing line that day.
So intention. Right there.
Yeah, but what is the charge? Did
We're
he
not- we're
give
not
them
sure if they
confidential
have enough
information?
corruption.
Not really. Did he give them any real specific information? Not really.
Sadly, no. So
Did he give them copies of all of the information from our files that we had on the fish? No, he didn't. I guess that's kind of up to
The
you to
one
stew on and
argument
decide.
is that he used information from our files to let somebody who shouldn't know that information know about who to keep an eye out for and that they're around. He knew the fish were around, or he knew the fish kidnapped Tucker, that they were actively around when they were searching, and he told Joyce that. The only reason he knew is because of deputy knowledge.
I mean, it's doubly stupid if Tucker is kidnapped somewhere, and only the fish know where she is, and his telegram sends the firing line after the fish, and they all die. Tucker's lost forever. No one knows where she is.
Or a filing line shows up, starts swinging their dicks around, and they kill Tucker.
Yeah, exactly. It's doubly stupid. So it
Sounds good.
is technically involving an active investigation if the search party's looking for her, and he's also sending the firing line after her. After them, sorry.
Yeah, but does it constitute corruption?
That's the
Uh,
golden question.
Corruption, a breach of public trust, and/or abuse of government position. A. Violation of the law of when he sees, asks, demands, solicits, accepts, or agrees to receiving anything in value of return for being influenced in the performance of their official duties, which he did not do. The only gain that he would get out of it is satisfaction. He's not getting any type of other gain. B. Includes abusing the authority of a government position to give favors or benefits to another individual the agent is favorable towards, or an unfairly targeting of another individual in the government official is not favorable towards.
That's the only clause we could push, is that.
That's the only clause you could push. But
Yeah.
you would, as I told y'all earlier, we're going to have to make sure that we have everything tight with this. And if he's being tight-lipped, he could plead not guilty on this and fight it in court. This can be ripped
Well-
apart easily.
Well, yeah, because we have one telegram.
We
Well,
have
two,
his
I guess. We can't
confession, do we not?
Lucas's
Well, we have his confession that he sent the telegram.
as a
but-
warning to be careful because there's murderers about. Now, so all we have really is that he admits that he sent it, but as a warning to a friend.
Would-
There's nothing in there showing abuse of his, to me, at least in my opinion, there's nothing in that shows his abuse with being a deputy.
Did he not say, Fletcher, you wrote down the conversation, right? Did he not say he sent it anonymously because he doesn't want to be connected back to what Lucas was
Yeah,
doing?
right.
Yes, yeah.
He did
Yeah.
say that once, yeah.
Okay.
But he's
'Cause that-
And then he lied,
wish-washed
and
on
then he
why.
lied again when we asked him a third time.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with his position. Like, he didn't.
He also said he would not mind if something happened to them, did he not?
Well, again, does that have to do with corruption?
Unfortunately, that's going to be what the defense lawyer would pick up on, because even though I have Ira in my office, there's still a few good defense lawyers out there.
I think this would be a hard case to win.
If you would like my opinion as an old marshal, as an old deputy, I personally would not trust someone like that in the department.
Hell no.
I would give him an ultimatum. That would be how I would handle it. That would be my
And what would
forefront
that
on
ultimatum be?
it. Well, you can either put him down to a deputy, or he sits here and he fesses up. We're at the risk of losing his job. But that's not my call. That's all y'all's call.
Oh,
So if he confesses, he gets to keep his job? Is that what you're saying?
No, at the end of the day, that's going to be your decision.
But what's
if you
what's
can-
what's
if
the
you
benefit
think-
to him to fess up then?
If you think you can get more information out of him, knock him down to being a deputy. He's an FTO, right now?
No, he's not.
He's not. He
I
got stripped of that.
I cannot say that he's not going to be a deputy. That would be command decision. But
Yeah.
yeah,
He's
I'm just
currently
gonna-
suspended.
I'm just gonna say
I
there's
see.
no way that any Reed and I both explained. There's no way either of us can continue working alongside him, knowing that he
Yeah.
did this, even if for a minimal reason.
Yeah. I mean, I would strip him of his position and get him out. That would be my forethought, because he's going to be a liability.
Well, then we'll let you think on it and see whether think you want to try to take this to court or not. He may just lose his job and be done with it.
I mean, if he comes back and does a lawsuit, then
Dad,
I'm
I'm
going to have to
hungry.
have the rebuttal ready too.
I'm hungry.
If he does that, he's a goddamn fool.
He's going to be a goddamn fool, because I got y'all as witnesses here, and I bet you I can probably pour more deputy as witness, and he's going to sit there cowering in his boots, and he knows I'll be aggressive with this.
All right. Well,
I'll keep going over the corruption. We might be able to do something with conspiracy. I have to wait a little bit longer, and I'll go through with Fletcher because Fletcher's one of the assistant attorney generals, and I'll entrust him with this. He and I can work together on this.
I mean, you'd still have a hard time because the only person that's going to read that and see what we see is the person who really understands the context. And
So my question is, I know some may argue it's wasting the court's time. My question is, why don't we make an example of this? Make an example of him.
Bring it to court just to have the example done.
Yep, public.
and what if we lose?
We get an
People will
answer.
still know he sent the telegram and that we fired him.
It's like it's kind of like
So
that.
we just tell people he sent the telegram and we fired him.
Reed, do you remember that case that we took to trial with all those telegrams that we had going back and forth on the anonymous telegrams?
You're talking about people pretending to be marshals and all that.
Yeah, remember that case? We brought it to prove a point on anonymous telegrams.
It would make the sheriff's and marshal's office look good.
If we won.
If.
I mean, even if we didn't win, it still shows that.
Yeah, it shows that we're
That this was
doing something
caught.
about it.
It shows something to our deputies that this was caught and it's not going to be dealt with.
We don't need to go to court for that.
You
Us
don't need to.
simply-
That's something that you can just announce to deputies in general.
Well, still
Well,
in general, it shows the public. I don't.
Well, yeah. Well, I'm saying is we don't need to go to court for that to happen. Him simply being fired is enough for that.
Are we going
I
to tell
think-
deputies why he was fired? Really? Do we usually do that? No, we don't.
I
Guess we
mean,
make an
there's
exception
no
for
reason
this.
why we couldn't.
Yeah.
But we could just put out a statement that he has been terminated, and if anyone has questions as to why, they're welcome to reach out to command.
I'm concerned that he's going to spin his own story on it.
He's going to. It's Stonewall. I can tell you that for a matter of fact.
You know who he's close
He's. Yeah, I'm aware.
with. Yeah,
He's going
so-
to try to spin a sob story to everyone.
Well,
I suppose we can bring this up to command vote as well, whether or not we push it to court. We don't have to make that decision right here, right now, but we definitely can't let this sit. And that's what happens
if
when we have a lot
if
of
this
our
goes to
plate.
court, we're going to lose.
You sure about that?
I don't think there's any way we win this case, because we've got to prove that the inference that we're
Could be the
making
person I'm riding with, Lasky.
from the telegrams is the truth. Court has to be based off of facts and what is written,
Just
Yep.
talking to people you came here with.
Yeah,
unless you get
yeah.
a judge that's sympathetic who understands and can make the same inference we made and decides that that's strong enough to charge. But
But, no, I'm sure you all understand. I've never processed a court case in my life. I'm just security.
The thing.
Would deputy
the thing-
statements expressing their concern for their safety and working with him because they thought that this is what he was doing? Does that not matter?
It does matter. That would
Not-
be
doesn't
witnesses.
matter
if
That
they
would be
were
like
wrong.
a character witness, but even then, that's not
Yeah.
going to turn the tide of anything. You need witnesses that actually have physically seen him do it. So you would need to call people like
If-
Lucas Joyce to the stand.
if anything, Tris, and I'm just going to be perfectly honest, if I'm the defense attorney and you spin that side of it, I'm going to say, you mean when you assumed that he was working with the fish and so you're afraid for your life, when you were wrong?
Yeah.
And then if you were wrong about that, then how can we in good faith believe that you're right about any of this?
So at the end of the day, what he's saying is they can pick it apart as easily as we can try to build up a defense.
Yeah.
With how many loopholes that there are, it's basically like Swiss cheese right now.
Now I've established that there's a pattern to you making assumptions and coming
The
to
assumption
improper
I made
conclusions.
was made without any statement from him. The assumption I have now is made with his direct testimony of why he did it and who it was for and who it was to. Made an
Which
assumption based
I
off of
agree
us,
with.
based off of what I thought, and now what we have is something based off of what of his admittance.
Now, I am going to have to inform Barlow because of the investigation that I've been doing. Does he know that Stonewall is currently suspended?
I told Barlow he'd probably know what was going on in the next couple of days because we're doing it
Okay.
in his home. So I did tell him that we're handling an IA.
Okay. Well,
Question is, if we don't charge corruption, what else? Not, I really, I'm not out
There's nothing.
to. I'm not out
there,
to charge him with
there's going to
anything.
be nothing. There's going to be nothing. We can't push treason whatsoever. This is not a treasonous act
Yeah.
that he's done. He's not impersonating a government official. He's not causing any insurrection or sedation at this point. There is nothing that he really is doing.
I mean, you could try for conspiracy,
You can try for conspiracy on
but
possibly.
then again, you've got to prove the inference. You know
Exactly.
that what the words that are written don't really mean what they say.
And unfortunately, since it's words that are written, it can be twisted at the end of the day.
Twisted, misinterpreted. There's too many holes that can be poked in it by a defense attorney if they're worth their salt.
Yeah, I mean, all it
It's
takes
fine,
is
man.
Stonewall to keep shrugging his shoulders, and that's
The
all
only
it's going to take.
thing that I can think that could possibly stick is possibly obstruction of justice.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
You could possibly push for a felony obstruction of justice. And given the fact he
Hmm.
was on duty, you could possibly push it to an aggravated charge.
Yeah, but the information that he gave him never ended up interfering with anything.
No, but it could interfere with something in the future.
And don't get me wrong, Tris. I mean, he sent this information to someone who put a double barrel shotgun to the back of my head. If I thought this was going to stick, I'd nail him to the fucking wall if I could.
Yeah, and like I said, I'm not dead set on charging him. I'm just gonna say he should be fired, and I surely hope that we all come
I
to
agree.
agreement that he's fired. So I mean, it just doesn't have to go to court. But my thought is just making examples so we don't deal with this again in the future. So we don't have deputies that think this is okay.
Yep. And at the end of the day, yeah, it's only the only thing that I can think of is going to be the obstruction of justice charge at the end of the day. Unfortunately, Tris, it's just a
It's
sheer
fine.
matter of fact of how it is.
I'm not gonna be upset over it. My thought is if we don't make this public through trial, we fire him. We have to make some sort of, in my opinion, we have to make some sort of statement at least to the department as to why he was fired, like an officially
I
written.
mean, we
document.
can. We never have before, so it would be setting a new precedence. Which
Well, I think that have we ever fired a deputy for borderline corruption before?
yeah,
And I have it not go to court?
yeah.
Who? Aside from the obvious, which it was supposed to go to court anyway. So I mean, he
mean-
would have gone to court.
I'd have to sit back and really think on it, but
I
there
don't
have
think
been
there is. The only reason that didn't go to court is he died.
there have been situations where people have done questionable things and have lost their job because of it.
Yeah, but not like this.
You know, to be perfectly honest, there's more situations where people have done questionable things and they still got to keep their job. But
Yeah, but it wasn't like this.
sure.
It's caught red-handed giving information, albeit vague information, to somebody who shouldn't have had it.
I mean, I think the acceptable response is certainly to make a statement about it, at least within the department, at the very least.
if we
Draper.
If we make it to the what?
Draper. Can't remember her first name.
Valerie.
Mallory.
I mean, no doubt if we make a statement to the department, it's going to get out to the public. So it's not like we can stop that, which is why I just want to do it to the department. And then we have a trail of paperwork to prove if anybody questions it at all, why he's
Yeah.
fired. I don't
At-
care to
at
make
the-
it public.
At the end of the day, that's going to be a command/high command decision.
Yeah.
So
Yep.
we might as well
It
talk
is
to
a
them
good
about it.
sort of PR opportunity for trying to mend the whole firing line association with the sheriff's and marshal's office.
Yeah, the problem is it's good PR to us, but other people are just going to latch on that and go, see, I fucking told you, they're all corrupt. They're all firing line. They're all.
But they're going to
look,
think that
look,
anyway,
here's proof.
regardless if you do
Yeah.
anything or not.
Yeah. So it's like it's
They
a
can't
damned if you
claim
do,
we're
damned if you
corrupt
don't.
if his own command
We're
is
actually
pushing
doing
this
something.
against
Yeah,
him.
exactly. Yeah.
In the
If we're
marshal's
actually doing
office.
something about it.
They
They're not
can't
gonna-
claim if
they're
they're
not gonna
corrupt
scream
if they
about that
actually
side.
don't bring the charge of corruption to court, and I will fight every single person with a tooth and nail on that until they've read the whole fucking and know what the entirety of the charge stands to. Sorry, I'm a little angry.
Regardless, I say we cut him loose for now and let him know that pending a command conversation, he's still suspended. And
Are we going to see him? Do you think
I
it's going to
mean-
be as easy to round him up again?
if we don't, then we just terminate him. We're not really thinking we're going to probably end up pressing charges, I don't think, but
Yeah, I mean, if there's gonna be no charges pressed, him cutting and running don't really.
He
make a
doesn't know
difference.
that.
Yeah.
Still, it
yeah, but I
Uh,
mean,
he
if
doesn't
wants
know
to,
that.
if he wants to flee, then that's on him.
I can show myself so that he knows it's serious if I'm down here.
I'm sure he's saying.
well,
With Stonewall,
Yeah, but I mean, that's just gonna
he's
get-
somewhat
that's-
situational
That's
awareness.
only going to increase the chance that he's going to run.
If he runs, then he's going to figure out that, well, it's
No,
going to
he
be
ain't
huge
never gonna see
disappointment to
him
many
again.
people. Yeah,
I don't think that'll happen. But
we'll see. He's got family here, so
yeah,
So I say we cut him loose and we leave it to command decision. I'll write up some statements and put them up on the boards, and then let command know that this
Alright.
needs to be decided in the next 24 to 48 hours.
Time is
I'll
of the
need-
essence.
I'll
I
need
will go
marshals
around
and
and I will
command
knock
to hang
every
around
door
too.
of every command member until I get an answer. Everyone that's it's stated, that is.
yeah. Well, let's get him out of here, and then we can talk about that other thing.
Sweat long enough.
Yeah. I'll let you all handle that, and I'll step to the corner here.
All right, Stonewall. So we're not going to keep you here any longer than you need to be. All right, we're cutting you loose for now, but just expect that there's going to be follow-up. Okay. This isn't done because we're letting you go. Leave. You go continue your life.
Well, I am. I'm also going to resign from my position anyways. I'm done. Y'all are going to accuse me of all these things that I didn't do. All I did was a telegram. You're going to suspend me for that. That's the type of department's going to be. I resign
You
from my
admit
position.
you did it, Stonewall. Don't try to stand here and say
I
you're
didn't
going
admit
to
I
accuse
did
me
it.
of
You know
things
what my
I
fucking
didn't do.
intention was, Reed. You know what my intention was.
No, I don't know what your
So
intention
fucking
was.
fixated on the firing line. You think I'm helping them or giving them information? All I sent was one singular fucking telegram saying, "Watch out for fish." That's public knowledge that they're around. All I gave them was public knowledge.
Then
They're
why
gonna suspend me for that and
did
accuse
you
me of
need
all
to
this
give it to
shit.
them?
I don't know.
Why did you try to
Honestly,
hide it?
I don't fucking know. Wasn't trying to hide it.
That's what it sounded like.
Y'all were suckering me in a fucking corner, and I didn't have time to even think about what my answer is gonna be.
That's
just
what
gave an
IAs,
answer.
That's how
Yeah.
IAs do. That's,
You don't have to think about the truth. That's the thing about it, Stonewall.
you've given us 3 different
what the hell
reasons
do
as
you
to
mean?
why you sent that telegram.
Potential reasons. I honestly don't know even why I sent that telegram. But I'm gonna resign. Doesn't fucking matter. Doesn't matter. I'm done with this shit. I'm resigning. Whatever fucking papers gotta fill it out. I just want to fucking leave.
Badge then.
You gonna let me fucking leave now? All the shit I did for your department. And this is what it is. Let me the fuck out of here. All of you can go fuck yourselves. Imagine. Fucking great.